Test one, two, three. How's whoever's looking at this? Welcome. Figure I'd just do a stream and sit down and relax and put something together. Somebody asked me a question if I would be interested in modeling a VTuber avatar. Can't say I have much experience in that, but after doing a little bit of research, I was interested, intrigued even, just the amount of work that goes into it, the like also the amount of variety of various avatars. I mean, truth be told, I do know what a VTuber. And that was something that I was curious to look into just to see if I could make a avatar, if I could make something that who knows, have it talk, move its head around, all that stuff. So took a couple of days looking at various tutorials. There were three tutorials that uh, I would see to share, but I'm kind of I'm kind of waffling if that's something I should give permission to or whatever. But I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Everything I've seen so far, I feel pretty confident that I could probably make a, VTubing avatar. So this is something that I did a sketch right here. This is something I sketched up and put a little bit of color of a head that I'm probably gonna sculpt, model, and retopolize. But I'm also gonna do the sculpt just so I could probably use it for like other means. What, not quite sure, but this is what I'm going to be working with. Now, let me go ahead and just get this set up. I want to go and probably move him to the side here. And let's see. Now, this is Blender 3.6, and they have added some new and amazing features. But uh, what I usually like to do is just to double check everything. Everything is in order. If there's any particular add-ons that I probably want to use. And I just got off of 3.5, but since I installed 3.6, it did give me the options if I can like bring in some of my features from 3.5. I said, yeah, sure. I guess I didn't do the same thing with the other add-ons, but I'll deal with that later. For right now, oops, I guess something was unplugged. Surprise, surprise. Let's plug that back in. Okay. So we got the sphere here. We are going to go ahead and sphere this up a bit. And there's a remesh and symmetry. Always good to do a little bit of preparation. I like subdividing my spheres before, I start doing the remeshing. Everyone has their own particular way of style of doing things. So that's working. And there's the remesh. I'm probably gonna start with 8. And let's go ahead and remesh this so you can tell by kind of looking at the x-ray that, it did a little bit of remeshing. All right. Other thing is I'll even blow it up some, just a little bit. That's another thing that I kind of recently learned with Blender. Like when you're doing your scaling and sizing up and doing all this in object mode. When you go into sculpt mode and then you try doing the sculpting, you'll have this arrow that'll actually pop down at the bottom here. That's just saying, oh well, the geometry is warped a certain way. Well, actually, I'll just do it quickly demonstrate. So say if I'm like scaling it like this, right? And then I go into sculpt mode. All right, object has 9 uniform scale sculpting, that blah blah blah. Well, that means that even you could tell by my cursor is all oval looking. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect circle, and that's bad. So whenever you're doing any type of scaling, especially if you're doing any type of alterations, you could just do it in scope mode. And while you're in scope mode, then you could like shape it up any way you wish. So that comes in handy. So there we go. So I'm gonna now grab the elastic and let's go ahead and shape up this head. So with at least some amount of geometry to work with and not too much, it does make it easier to, get the shape that you want. And then once you got the shape, then you go ahead and do your details later. There's some lips right there. Okay. And yeah, just simple save. Just call him boy. I'll probably have a better name later. So now we got a little bit more definition. So let's go ahead and start fleshing out the detail a little bit more. Like one thing I want to really make visible are his cheeks. I want to make them puffy. And then also, the dimple like chin that pops out just a really small. And there we go. And then with the eyes, of course, eyes gonna be important to really get right. So I'm gonna stop that real quick and add in another sphere. And this is gonna be something that will help with the eyes when I shape them into the skull. So there's that, and let's go ahead and mirror the eyes. So there's two, so don't have to worry about it too much. Not gonna do any subdividing. But now that I have them resting on the head, the skull, inside the skull, so I can resume sculpting. And I usually just fill this out and do the same thing up top here. So with eyes and eyelids, it's always good to have a bit of, what's a lack of a better word, a bit of a layer. It just had to be like really synced in. You want to at least have some enough layers so when you do the rigging and skinning process, it has enough room to blink his eyes. So I like to at least make sure there's enough for his eyes to, do a bit of blinking, have some actual eyelids. And just what I'm doing right now, I'm pulling them out before I do any remeshing. As far as the nose, I want to at least have a really button-like nose. So, I'll definitely shape that further. But, for the moment, just fleshing it out, fleshing it enough, and then remesh. Do a bit of smoothing. Actually, let me back up on that. Let's save, do a bit of smoothing, and I am going to actually see if I can flatten this out. So with the flattening, I'm gonna go ahead and just let's check this up a bit. To that plus. Yeah, let's see. I probably didn't do it right. Let's go back to subtract. No, it's not flattening anything. Perhaps there's not enough geometry to do that, but that's okay. That's all right. We'll do that later. So let's go ahead and continue with smoothing this out some and pulling this out a little bit. And we'll also kind of bring bring this in some of as well too. Well, instead of stretching, let's just inflate it a bit. Inflate his forehead a bit, and then we'll smooth it out. Bring in the elastic again. Once again, smooth that out. So bring this out, and not too much, but at least get the neck. I mean, this is a young person, so I want to at least have a little bit of appeal of, not too much muscle. Don't have to pay too much attention to that. I can just go right back over to the face. And let's add a little bit more. So now I can go ahead and add a crease around the lip area. That's also include putting in a nice hole for the nostrils. Hmm. Okay. Oh, let's go over to 3. Okay, so with the way things are looking now, I'll probably have to increase uh, the voxel size. Eh, let's let's just go ahead and do that right now. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna stop it right there. Just go ahead and do that right now, and also notice. Go ahead and remesh that. All right, so now maybe I can flatten this and actually get a little bit of, yeah, there we go. So now the other thing I'm gonna do is create upper eyelid, which is gonna be here. So let's recreate that lip area for the eyes. Go ahead and save, like I always just say, save often, save a lot. Okay, so this part, which will be where the eyebrows will lay, I'll just put a little bit of a definition here. And then smooth it out. So for the upper eyelid, same thing. Let's go ahead and kind of want to, yeah, kind of want to flat bevel this out some, which probably will take a couple of tries to, and then do the same thing for up top here. Go ahead and remesh that. All right. Um, let's let's give it a little bit more cheek. You know, less baggy eyes, more cheek. Mhm. Okay, so there's that. And what about some definition area, especially with the nose? Nose should have some definition. Probably a crease at least. Probably like right here. And then maybe inflate this a little bit. We'll inflate it just a little bit. Or significantly, yeah, rather. But while it inflates, helps with the crease. And then kind of inflate a little bit on this part too. And the tip of the nose itself. Let's go ahead and push this back in. Smooth that out, smooth this out. I mean, to be honest, I am gonna probably stop at a certain point and just go right into retopolizing. But, kind of like to add a little bit more. So with the lips, smooth that out a bit. got that. Let's go and push that in here. Do the same thing up top here. Just push it in, smooth it out, push it in, and just remesh. I mean, one thing I'm immediately saying is the symmetry is not 100% working, but you know, once I go into retopolizing, it shouldn't be too bad. I mean, it's not a absolute issue, but you know, I do see a couple of things that worry me, but I could live with it. So there's there's a face. There's a face right there. So let's go and shape the head up. Shape the jaw area up a bit. Gonna do push this in. So, people wondering what am I gonna do with this head? I mean, like I said before, curious if I can turn this head into a VTubing avatar of some sort. I'll probably give it a body as well too, but I'm also I'm gonna do a number of things with this child, this young individual. I have plans for him, many plans. But just right now, one of them is to make him turn him into an avatar. You know, I guess when people think of VTubers, they will probably be greeted by cat girls and all sorts of things, dragging ladies and everything else, or super ninjas. But you know, they look at this, it's like, well, dang, he's just there, and yeah, you're right, he's just there. But I don't know. Maybe in the later future, I'll probably make some sort of cat girl avatar with some rainbow colored sprinkles or a unicorn tiara or something. Something crazy. I guess, and then when I finish, they might say, what sort of nightmare fuel cat girl you created? I was like, well, mm, nightmare fuel Chan, I suppose. Eh, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So smooth this out a little bit more. I guess I could make some ears. Yes, ears are super important. Super duper important. But I think the way I'm going to do the ears for this individual, ah, I could make it separate or make it separate or make it one whole piece. Hmm. I'll probably have them separate ears. Yeah, we'll make it separate ears. So we're gonna save this. Go into object mode. Let's go ahead and grab some stuff. And isosphere. Yeah, well, not isosphere. Not the icosphere. Back to UV sphere. But yeah, but we have a cylinder. Cylinder be much more appropriate for this. So I'm holding down Control C. For those that are probably looking at this, if they are looking at it, I'm using industry compatible navigation UI. So, for those dads, like, well, you can use your shortcuts and everything. Well, yeah, I'm not using Blender shortcuts for this. I'm using UI shortcuts, similar to Max and Maya with the press F to do all sorts of zooming in and everything. Yeah, industry compatible. It's all about preference. You know, use your tools that you're most comfortable with. Not to say that I can't do this using Blender UI, but time and time again, I just find myself fighting between different control schemes. So one of the blessings that Blender has bestowed upon us lowly individuals is industry compatible. So I like it. I like it mainly because if I have to switch between Maya or Max and Blender, I'm not thrown into a loop and have to reformat my brain to, okay, I'm using these hotkeys now for this program. Okay, I gotta switch back to this program to use these hotkeys and ad nauseum. And maybe one day down the line, I'll probably be able to store all these hotkeys into my brain, but this is much easier for the time being. So let's go ahead and shape this ear like so. And I'm not gonna do a mirror right now. I'm really just focusing on the ear placement right there. And now let's go ahead and start remeshing. Okay, you can tell because it did a little bit of remeshing here. So let's go ahead and start shaping our ear. And I go ahead and pull this in a bit. And just get it up in there. And then you get the little shape, earlobe. Do a little bit of smoothing. And like always, it's good to have a reference because sometimes I'll be messing up ears like there's no tomorrow. But right now, I'm just gonna get the shape. And then once I get the shape, and then I'll really focus on making it look like an ear. Get the little two part, pull that in some. Let's go ahead and remesh that. So now that that's remeshed, let's draw this out a bit. 1, 2, and then we'll do a little bit of inflating. Let's inflate this a bit here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull that in some. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just gonna inflate these parts, the lobe, to really pull it out a bit, and then do a little bit of cutting. Do a little bit of cutting right there. Push this in. All right. So let's do a bit of cutting here. And remesh. And Do two, remesh again. Make make these cuts. Right, one right there, and we're gonna do one more right in this area, like so. So that is added. We're gonna bring this out a bit. Do a little bit of inflation. Inflate this a bit. Remesh. Smooth it out. And smooth that out. Smooth that out. And let's really just punch this in. Just punch it in like there's no tomorrow. Because it's just really just all one thing. So now that we got that, and oh, that's pinch. One day I'm gonna use pinch. I will definitely use pinch one day. You know, when I probably get more comfortable using it and see various instances. Like maybe like let's see, where would it be a good place to pinch? Can't think of it right now because I'm just kind of like focusing on the tools that I'm more familiar with. I have used it before, and I have used it for various other instances, but for the ear, I think I'm just kind of playing it safe. So we're gonna go ahead and flatten this a bit, which is all right. This at origin geometry. Oh wait, what? Really? Oh, okay. Nope. There we go. So push this in, maybe like the air. Maybe rotate it a bit. Yeah. Get the ear in place like that. Alright, there we go. I think that should be enough for his ear. So now I'm gonna go ahead and mirror. So let's mirror this. Gonna mirror, do that. Now he got ears for days. Ears for days. Let's go back into sculpt mode and we are gonna do some more elastic deform. That way it shows that it's actually part of his ear, like so. So now that he's part of the ear, let's remesh that again, and then we'll go ahead and push it back. So I'm gonna go ahead and push it back like so. And push it in, back it in, do another cut. I don't know why, but probably give it a bit of something. And then smooth it out. ear, ear, and there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and apply you, and this is going to be actually joined together. So now that it's joined together, I'm going to go into scope mode, do face sets, just like face sets, I'll lose parts. So there's that and that. And remesh. So now our ER1 whole piece. Uh, yep, there we go. Now you're just one whole piece. So there we have a face, a bit of a button nose, and some eyes and cheeks. And looks like it's just about everything that I'm looking for this head. So I guess I will end it here for the time being, because the next thing I'm probably gonna do now is do a little bit of retopolizing. Or I could probably make the body. I haven't decided yet, but I'll probably end it here, and I'll work on this later, and we'll see how far I get with this. So I will catch you guys probably later tonight, and we'll do some more work.